If you are looking for the best stereo amplifiers 2024, well, you're in the right place. We've dug deep and conducted extensive research, and now we're breaking down the absolute best stereo amplifiers 2024. We're talking about the perfect balance between price and performance, tailored for different scenarios. If you're eager to find out which suits you best, don't go anywhere. Stick around till the end, because we've got all the links for the best prices in the description below. No specific order, just the top contenders in the game. Ready to dive into the world of best stereo amplifiers 2024? Let's get started. Number 5. Marantz PM6007. The Marantz PM6007 takes the winning formula of the Marantz PM6006 UK edition, a former What Hi-Fi award winner, and manages to squeeze even more performance out of it. The result, another What Hi-Fi award winner. Let's get the negatives out of the way first though. There's no USB input or Bluetooth connectivity, which some users might demand. That aside, however, the PM6007 is pretty much faultless. It boasts trademark Marantz styling and is a solidly built, nicely finished integrated amplifier with traditional hi-fi appeal. Improvements include a new DAC and new filters, which can be switched between when you're using the amp's digital inputs, plus new components in the power amp and phono stages. The latter also gets upgraded circuitry, and the results speak for themselves. The sound is smooth, full-bodied and balanced, with a pleasing spaciousness, making it another quality hi-fi amplifier from Marantz that should please most people and systems. There aren't many alternatives around this price point that we'd recommend, but the high-performing Mission 778X at $549 is one to consider if you want Bluetooth and a USB, or simply value retro aesthetics and/or a half-width chassis. If you're looking for an even cheaper option than either, we would point you to the 5-star Rega EO and Cambridge Audio AXA 35, which are both brilliant my first amplifier options. Number 4. Rega Ethos. The Rega Ethos delivers a fantastic combination of insight, dynamics, and rhythmic precision to produce a class-leading sound at this serious level. It's not the most highly spec'd stereo amp we've seen. There are no digital inputs, something Rega is now starting to add in its newer releases. Nor is there a phono stage for a turntable, which is perhaps the more surprising omission. So those wanting to connect digital sources or a phono-less turntable should seek an outboard DAC and/or phono preamp. You do get 5 line-level inputs and a 6.3mm headphone socket though, and for those who don't care much for digital, or have another solution to get it, that'll do very nicely. If you can live with that, the Rega will reward you with a captivating sound that majors in clarity and dynamic fluidity. Its sense of timing is second to none at this price, which is part of the reason it is a current What Hi-Fi. Performance-wise, the Ethos is our definitive number 1 pick at this level. That said, if your budget can stretch a bit further but you don't have high-end money to spend on the Lavardin ITX below, the competitively performing Naim Super Nait 3, phono inclusive, Rotel Michi X3, phono and digital, and Cambridge Audio Edge A, digital and Bluetooth, are all worthy alternatives if you crave more features. Number 3. Naim Nait XS3. This is the 3rd generation installment of a model first introduced in 2008. The XS3 adds a moving magnet phono stage and better responsiveness, and that's about it. If that sounds negative, it shouldn't. The XS3 is a killer stereo amp, having earned a well-deserved 5 stars and multiple What Hi-Fi awards for its trouble. Why? Attention! 2. Detail. Open it up and you'll see what we mean. There's immaculately assembled audio circuitry, with fantastic care shown in reducing the degrading effect of outside interference and unwanted interactions between components. And it shows. The sound is much crisper and more agile than its forebears, thanks in no small part to this exacting eye for detail. It even goes as far as the shape of the connecting wiring and the exact number and placement of tie clips holding it in place. It might not be enough of a difference to justify upgrading from its predecessor, but it still makes for an awesome amp nonetheless. There's a generous dose of dynamics, the Naim tracking the slow build of the music well. The result is composed too, with a good degree of refinement when required. The Nait XS3 is a fit-and-forget product in the best sense. It slots into your system and does exactly what you want it to, and that's deliver the music with emotional impact intact. We can't ask any more of an amplifier than that. Number 2. Arcam A5. Arcam's once dominant presence in the affordable stereo component market definitely waned in recent years, leaving the likes of Cambridge Audio, Marantz, and Rega to take bigger pieces of the pie. Cambridge Audio's CXA61 sat in this very spot on this list for many years, in fact. That it no longer does tells you a lot about how good Arcam's new A5 is. Like its next level up A15 sibling at the top of this list, the A5 is a stonkingly good stereo amp for the money. It may be the most affordable amplifier in the all-new Radia range, yet it perfectly encapsulates what the company is trying to do. To our eyes, this is a fresh and modern-looking product, and to our ears, it is just as attractive. An amplifier at this level has a difficult balancing act to perform. It is as likely to be partnered with Budget Kit as it is more premium offerings, so it has to be forgiving enough not to emphasize the shortcomings of more limited partnering equipment, yet still have the insight and transparency to make the most of more capable signals. The A5 manages this balancing act superbly. It has a sweet nature that, while full-bodied and smooth, never errs far enough to rob the life from the music. Arkham was one of the pioneers of dedicated outboard units back in the 1980s, and that experience shines through in the A5's DAC section too, which feeds coaxial and optical inputs, but, like the A15, does omit a USB connection. Number 1. Arkham A15, the very best stereo amplifier at this very popular price point. Previous Arkham efforts have always looked tidy, but this new range with the all-black finish and subtle yellow accents looks sleek and modern. But the best part of the Arkham amplifier makeover brought by its all-new Radia doesn't concern aesthetics. The A15 has this powerful, precise, and poised character regardless of the input chosen. Arkham was one of the pioneers of outboard digital-to-analog converters back in the 80s, and that experience shines through in the performance of the A15's digital section. It is crisp, insightful, and engaging. We're impressed by the scale of the sound and the way this still compact design deals with the music's savage dynamics. There is no shortage of punch and power, but this is no muscle-bound thug. This Arkham is insightful, tracking the music's multitude of instrumental strands with skill. We worried a bit for the A15 once we heard how good the entry-level A5 below sounded, but we needn't have. This is a clear step better than its talented sibling, delivering a sound of greater clarity, scale, and precision that justifies its extra price tag and represents a logical step up. Better yet, there's a moving magnet phono stage built-in, which is something its closest rival, the Cambridge Audio CX81, formerly found in this very spot, doesn't offer. The Cambridge does reply with a USB input though, so if that's important to you, then know it is a recommendable alternative. Otherwise, make sure you give the A15 a listen if it falls within your budget. We haven't heard a better sounding alternative for the money.